What's up everyone, this is Tony with JRNY Crypto. In this video we're going to be discussing a very important topic, and that's the fact that China is cracking down on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and why I believe this is a very good thing for the long term. We're also going to discuss Bitcoin dipping early this morning and quickly recovering. It did dip into the high 20,000s, quickly recovering to 32,500, as well as some other major news in the markets today. So before we get started, I do appreciate if you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the bell if you want to be notified when I make new crypto videos. Alright guys, so we did see Bitcoin test the high 20,000s this morning, quickly being rejected. So it went as low as $28,900 and pretty much within the next couple hours recovered to $32,000, even peaking out here at $33,200, which was actually around the high from yesterday as well. So quickly rejecting those high 20,000s, I do believe volatility will continue. So we actually have a lot of bad news in the markets about China, a lot of panic around this. China is cracking down on cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin because they do have their own digital currency, and of course they're going to want to push that instead of allowing their citizens to use other options like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other altcoins. So China does ban a lot of major websites like Google, Twitter, pretty much any major website. They have a major copy of it that's created in China, keeping the revenue and the traffic within their country. So of course they're going to do this with their digital currency as well, which is expected. So I do believe a full-on ban is coming for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Don't be surprised when this does happen. So over the last week, we really had mainstream media focused on the looming death cross, which did actually play out over the weekend, resulting in Bitcoin dropping to the low 30,000s on Monday, and then testing the high 20,000s earlier this morning and quickly getting rejected. So now mainstream media is focused on China and the crackdown on cryptocurrencies here. I do have a couple articles to go over. So on CNN Business, Bitcoin plunges below $30,000 as China ramps up the pressure on cryptos. So I don't know if this was caused by panic with China, but this is in the mainstream news right now. Really a lot of attention is on this with China kicking out the Bitcoin miners. I do believe this is a great thing for the long term though, and I will talk more about this. So also we got China's central bank tells Alipay and banks to crack down on cryptocurrencies. So they are pushing through with this. I do believe China is going to go through with a full-on ban on cryptocurrencies. I'm actually surprised they haven't already. So of course they're going to want to push their own currency, just like they want to push their own platforms as well, which I do have a great quote to show you guys here. And if you guys do want to check out this video, very interesting, showing a mining facility shutting down all their Bitcoin miners. So the video was posted on WeChat by Bitcoin miners who got their operations shut down in China. Great quote here: "The lesson from the internet is anything that China bans, invest in it," from Fred Wilson. So China cracking down on cryptocurrencies and shutting down these mining operations is definitely great timing in my opinion, because we do have a global push for a clean energy mining solution for Bitcoin, and the closer we get to that and quicker we can achieve that, the sooner institutions will start piling in, and the sooner Tesla will be accepting Bitcoin as payment again, and things really start moving forward. So it's very possible this happens by end of year at the rate that things are going. So Pomp recently did a great post on this as well. China just made a significant geopolitical mistake. China has chosen a path that will become a more obvious self-inflicted wound, while simultaneously handing a large, non-violent victory to a Western superpower, the ultimate gift to the US. So I've seen a few posts like this over the last couple days of Bitcoin miners being shipped out to other countries, the US being one of them. So this is giving the chance for Bitcoin mining factories to set up using cleaner energy, really pushing us towards that goal of 50%. Elon Musk did mention this. Elon Musk says Tesla will accept Bitcoin as payment again once miners use 50% clean energy. I don't know how close we are to that goal or how easy that is to even measure this, but it is very possible that Tesla is accepting Bitcoin again by end of 2021, really giving the green light to institutions also investing in Bitcoin. Kevin O'Leary really talked about this, major article here and interviews. Kevin O'Leary doubles down on green Bitcoin. If miners can improve sustainability, they can attract more institutional clients and boost prices, the investor said at Consensus 2021. So a few key takeaways out of this article I do want to go over here. Less than 1% of institutions globally actually carry crypto as an asset class, Kevin O'Leary noted. And for that to change, miners need to prove their coins are created sustainably. Most of these institutions have both ethics and sustainability committees that filter offerings before they're allocated on the investment committee. They're not just singling out cryptocurrencies here. So this is what institutions want, and when that dam gets released, the amount of capital that will come into Bitcoin, it'll be the reason it goes to 100,000, 200,000, and more. Everybody that owns Bitcoin today, regardless of how it was mined, is incentivized to solve this problem for one reason alone: price appreciation. So Tesla really got into Bitcoin and started accepting Bitcoin as payment before the Bitcoin mining problem became mainstream. And it was after Tesla did this and it caused the crypto space to rally to all-time highs that it did give this a lot of attention, and a lot of FUD began spreading. That comedian did create a video that really went mainstream on this. And I do believe this pushed Tesla to stop accepting Bitcoin as payment in order to push a clean Bitcoin mining energy solution. So the space is pushing for this as a whole, and I do think it's happening much quicker than it would have if there was no need to really start pushing this and no urgency behind this as well. So I do think this is a good thing for the long term. In the short term though, we are moving sideways, and I do believe volatility is likely to continue. So once Elon Musk and Tesla do announce they're accepting Bitcoin as payment again, this will manipulate the markets upward. Just stating that they would do this when it did hit 50% really helped Bitcoin rally up to $40,000 again before the death cross and other FUD started spreading in the space. So lots of panic in the space right now, but I do believe it's very possible and likely that in mid-July we do start seeing Bitcoin in the crypto space start on a slow incline upwards into the bull market again. So we do have Q2 ending right now, which means that companies will be revealing their balance sheets, and we will be seeing what companies bought Bitcoin during the dip. So hopefully we did get some big ones. People are speculating Facebook. We did see that Apple was hiring for someone with crypto experience. Any big company though that bought $1 billion worth of Bitcoin or more is really going to help the crypto space rally again. We haven't had a major institution make a major investment like this since Tesla, besides MicroStrategy continuing to buy more, which I do have a few news articles here on that. So Michael Saylor did announce MicroStrategy has purchased an additional 13,005 Bitcoin for $489 million in cash at an average price of $37,600 per Bitcoin. So MicroStrategy is confident in buying Bitcoin above $35,000, and they were buying when it was $50,000 as well. They're very long term here, and they're probably going to just continue buying more and more Bitcoin. So as of June 21st, we hodl 105,000 Bitcoin acquired for $2.74 billion at an average price of $26,000 per Bitcoin, since they did pick up a massive amount in 2020 when the price was still very low. So another post here, MicroStrategy now owns 1 out of every 210 Bitcoin that will ever be created. That is a pretty high percentage here. The Winklevoss twins also own around 1% of Bitcoin, which is actually more than MicroStrategy owns here, because 1 out of every 210 would be around 0.5%. So this is very interesting. I'm sure they're going to continue accumulating even at the higher prices. And I do believe other institutions will begin doing this as well. And when the supply shock kicks in, because there's only 21 million Bitcoin that will ever exist, that's really when FOMO is going to kick in again. And I do believe it's very possible this can happen at the end of year, especially if Tesla starts accepting Bitcoin as payment again. And then that gives the green light to other institutions to start buying. And then we have previous companies that are buying. An extremely small percent of institutions actually hold Bitcoin on their balance sheet. So really with that, the sky is really the limit here, and we could get any amount of companies starting to invest. And if that does become a trend and the standard, imagine what's going to happen to the cryptocurrency space. So even with MicroStrategy buying so much Bitcoin and doing well overall, the MicroStrategy stock tanks with Bitcoin as S&P 500 NASDAQ rallies. So the MSTR shares declines by as much as 12% on Tuesday as the broader US stock market showed signs of strength. So something I've noticed with the MicroStrategy stock that I do want to point out is that anytime Bitcoin is crashing, the MSTR stock follows, but as Bitcoin recovers, the MicroStrategy stock isn't really recovering as much with it. And I do believe it will take a couple months of Bitcoin on a steady rise before the MSTR stock is really going to surge. But I do believe the MSTR stock will have a higher return on investment than Bitcoin itself if we do see Bitcoin break $100,000 by end of year. And I do believe many altcoins out there will have much higher return on investment as well. So just how when we see Bitcoin crashing, we see altcoins drop much more, because Bitcoin is just much less volatile in nature at this point, much higher market cap, the biggest crypto in the space. So when Bitcoin's also going up and trending and rallying upwards, altcoins that do have major updates and are relevant and have increasing demand are going to go up much more than Bitcoin as well. So although there's major uncertainty in the cryptocurrency space and everyone's split between bear market and middle of the bull market, one thing is for certain, and that's the fact that the purchasing power of the US dollar is going to continue declining with time, especially as more inflation kicks in with the trillions of dollars that have been printed. So inflation is kicking in whether we like it or not. Cost of goods is rising, and that's because the purchasing power of the US dollar is going down. So it takes more US dollars to buy the same amount of goods. And just with cryptocurrencies, that will play out over time as well. Even though there's volatility right now, over time, as more and more inflation kicks in the very long term, it'll take more and more USD to buy the same amount of cryptocurrencies, because cryptocurrencies are finite with a hard cap. So we did have Paul Tudor Jones announce that he's increasing his Bitcoin allocation to 5%, recommending this to other institutions and people as well. Tudor Jones likes Bitcoin, calls it a great portfolio diversifier to protect his wealth over time. And he first got into Bitcoin shortly after the market crash of March 2020. He got in with 1%. I'm sure he wishes he went in with 5% at the time, because he'd be in massive profit even after this market crash. So Paul Tudor Jones made this statement a little over a week ago, mid-June, after the markets had already crashed over 50%. So he definitely accumulated a lot of Bitcoin on this market crash, and I definitely think he's confident that the bull market is going to continue upwards towards end of year. So I definitely don't think he would be making statements like this if he thought we were headed into a bear market. That would really hurt his reputation. So he really highlighted inflation here and highlighted that this is becoming a major problem. And he did state he'll go all in on inflation trades if Fed says things are good, meaning he would buy more Bitcoin as well, since Bitcoin is an inflation trade, and it has been his best investment in the last year as a hedge against inflation, since he did buy in May of 2020 when Bitcoin was below $10,000. So a great quote here from Paul Tudor Jones. I like Bitcoin. Bitcoin is math, and math has been around for thousands of years. 2 plus 2 is going to equal 4, and it will for the next 2,000 years. So I like the idea of investing in something that's reliable, consistent, honest, and 100% certain. So Bitcoin has appealed to me because it's a way for me to invest in certainty. So Paul Tudor Jones is essentially saying that Bitcoin is guaranteed to go up in value in the long term, which is why I have a very long-term approach to this. Him saying that investing in Bitcoin is investing in certainty is huge, coming from a billionaire hedge fund manager, and a lot of people do respect his opinion and do agree with him. Obviously, he has a good track record buying Bitcoin below $10,000. Shortly after that crazy market crash when people thought crypto was dead. So we do have many specialists in the space predicting Bitcoin dropping to the mid 20,000s. Robert Kiyosaki here stating, waiting for Bitcoin to drop to 24,000. The crashes are the best time to get rich. I 100% agree with that. Buying throughout the last bear market was the best decision I made my entire life. I'm still up over 10x on a lot of cryptocurrencies I bought through the bear market, even though we just crashed over 50%. So really, specialists like this, they know where to enter. They have a good entry strategy, not only a good exit strategy, but an entry strategy as well. And I definitely recommend you take this market crash as a learning opportunity to fine tune your strategy and know what you want to do going forward. I definitely don't recommend getting into the crypto space, buying at a peak price just because of FOMO, following the herd, and then selling when everyone is panic selling and then leaving the space. That's not how you're going to make profit and get rich. You have to be here in the bear market. So if we are entering a bear market, that is something to look forward to for a lot of people that really didn't get the chance to dollar cost average. And if you don't know what dollar cost averaging is or don't have good strategies, I do have a cryptocurrency guides playlist. There will be a link to that in the top right of this video. So last update for today is on the Bored Ape Yacht Club. The demand for these has been growing rapidly. The price floor went from 0.1 Ethereum when they launched on secondary markets, now to 3 to 5 Ethereum. And these are for the less desirable ones. The ones that are much rarer and much higher demand are going for over 50 Ethereum. So definitely my best investment over the last 2 months was these Ape NFTs. Now they're actually giving away dog NFTs as well. If you own one of these apes, you can claim 1 dog for each ape, and these are selling for over 1 Ethereum on the secondary markets before they're even revealed. So these are available on OpenSea if you want to buy them, going for around 1 to 2 Ethereum. But you are taking a high risk here and a gamble because they're not revealed yet. You don't know what the dog looks like or the rarity. So in some cases, people will make massive profit on this and get rare dogs with high demand that will sell over 20 ETH, I'm sure. So going to be very interesting to see the reveal of these. Really looking forward to that this weekend. Definitely check that out on OpenSea. We do have a lot of celebrities getting in. Sean Yu changed his profile picture here, 4.2 million followers. Imagine how many people are asking him what this is and how many of his friends with a lot of followers are also getting in. We also saw a few basketball players getting in. Gary Vee said they're undervalued. I definitely see the value here as well, which is why I was even buying some of these on the secondary market for over 1 Ethereum. So I was lucky enough to get in early on this. I was just randomly browsing Twitter one night, Friday nights at 2 a.m. And I was lucky enough to come across the Bored Ape Yacht Club when they were in the pre-sale for this at 0.08 ETH per ape. So I will be showing you guys my collection of apes and putting some up for sale eventually as well. But definitely an NFT collection I think will continue rising with value in the long term. Not like 90% of these other NFTs that will lose demand and there's just not enough scarcity and not a good team behind it as well. The Bored Ape Yacht Club has been the best NFT team I've seen so far. So definitely something to have on your radar here. So that's it for today's crypto news and market update. I hope you guys found it useful. In my opinion, the crypto space is still looking good for the long term, but like I said, in the short term, anything can happen. Volatility is expected to continue. I do see the crypto space possibly on a steady rise around mid-July though, especially if we get some big companies announcing they acquired Bitcoin, like Facebook, Apple, or any other massive company acquiring more than $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell if you found the video useful. I do daily cryptocurrency videos, so you definitely want to be notified for that to keep updated on time-sensitive information. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video.